this time it's HILUX. That's right, when I put on that snorkel. I would like to introduce you to the, well, now just yesterday I prepared in advance. It's just inside the tire house. All you need to do is remove the cover. I put up those 8 sheets that serve as landmarks. There is, but I'll touch on this later. I would like to do something about the current situation. I am a front runner and I am starting my career. This will cut a hole in the roof. I was nervous at first, and then there was Leitner. The carrier comes with various things from the side. It is very convenient because it can be used. And this is Max Trax from that dirt. It's a board for escaping. This is also Leitner. Now it can be installed behind the box. Since there are options available, it was quite convenient. This time I used a manufacturer called Safari of SS123HF. I would like to install something called Amazon. They also sell quite cheap ones. However, this is not so. Well, let's check the evaluation. That's pretty much 8 unnecessary places. Water comes in from, like cheap Chinese made ones. So this time we will use authentic Australian made products. It is better to install it using, I thought so and bought 8. I made a lot of holes in the body. That's why I made up my mind and installed it. I think it would be a good idea to go. Now let's get started with the installation. This time I will show you a video of the installation of that type of receiver. While talking, I suddenly turned on Starlink for the first time. This also happens because I have an antenna attached. I would like to review it next time. I'm planning to install it. That's where the guide paper is now. It's pasted, but there's also 8 below it. That's right, I'll put some masking tape on it. This is a copy of the installation guide sheet, page 8. Use the pen to move it and make a small hole. It will take shape as you put it on here. So I use something called a stepping drill. 8. For those who don't know what to say, I would like to recommend that guide. After making a small hole, do this and gradually spread it out. Yes, that's very true. It's hard to get caught, so you can open it safely. You can go to any number of stages. However, I still don't understand what you were aiming for. In that case, it's the drill bit. Put masking tape or something on that mark. It is convenient to open it with the... This time I realized that. Also, the iron in this thing flies away. It gets stuck in my clothes too, and it's fleece. I'm wearing this, but it was the worst. That's why you're wearing those smooth clothes. I recommend that you do the work. Let's restart the 8-step drill. So, I guess there are about 5 locations. Drill a hole and go in. Afterwards, I open it with a big one, which is also very difficult. Well, it's kind of central. The hole kept getting wider and bigger and it became shaky. There is a problem with the blower. So, now the iron content is blown away, and now the iron content is blown away. Attach the cover so that it doesn't touch the bonnet. However, what you should do from the beginning is, I recommend that you take the 8 barry, and then after that I made this 8 parent. That's it. I have to remove the air cleaner box. So now it's inside the air box. The guy in there won it. That's why I took it off first. So I used this thing called an air saw. Yes, I'm cutting that off. It cut very smoothly and I tried it for the first time. Yes, but I also think it's very convenient. That's what I thought, but something about that air compressor. Isn't it going to become necessary? This is a place where there is no air compressor. What's inside? Attach the tip of the electric drill with just that. It's a product that looks like it can be cut by rotating. There is a similar installation video from America. I saw an air compressor inside. If you don't have one, please try it. I think it would be good if you could look into it. We will then resume the work. The piece that was in the middle of the fender was also removed and the cutting was completed as expected, so I removed the masking tape and added the final touches to the burrs. Rust can be an issue, so I think it's quite important to always use a touch pen to remove burrs and paint to keep rust away. One crucial point here is that some modification of the air cleaner is required. You will need to remove the air cleaner box and make a cut for the air intake. So I cut it out using something like an air saw. I'm doing a lot of work on the left rear, but I'm going to fabricate it, process it, then put the air cleaner box back in, and after this I'm going to attach the pipe that goes into the fender, but I'm not sure how to do this. No, it's not. It was an extremely difficult situation and I was struggling to find it. In the end, I applied some oil and slightly bent the inner tube by hand. It was quite hard in winter and I couldn't get it in, so I just bent it a little bit and then pushed it in. I think that was okay. After that, I'm going to temporarily put it in this shape and make another hole in the pillar part, making 3 holes with a 16mm diameter. However, if I push it in too far, it will hit the other side of the pillar. Since it will get wet, I usually use a 16mm drill until it feels just right, and then stop. We will attach the plastic parts of the receiver and proceed with the finishing touches. Finally, I'm going to attach the main body, but it doesn't stick again. I don't want it to get stuck in the rubber hose inside the fender. So in my case, I firmly fixed the main body until it was in its final state and stuck it together. Then I hit it with a rubber hammer or something, and the hose band was definitely a little loose. It worked fine, so I loosened the hose band, hit it with a rubber mallet and managed to get it in. Then I added the last various parts and started finishing. The failure this time was that there was a hose clip where the cable was attached to the top lid of the air cleaner, but when I tried to remove it, it broke and the rest was actually the rubber there. I should have attached it with tape and cut it at the vinyl tape, and I was able to remove the lower box by cutting just the band of the hose clip there. So I decided to remove the cable for the upper air cleaner box. I am reflecting on myself and thinking I'm glad I didn't have to do that. Tighten the hose band there as well and the installation is complete. This time I introduced the process of installing a Safarisha snorkel on a HILUX. The most daunting of all is to make a big hole. I was worried that if the holes were misaligned it wouldn't fit properly, but I'm glad it turned out well. Moreover, the issue of the hose inside the fender not getting stuck was very painful, but it might not be that suitable in winter. If you were to do it in winter, I think it would be a good idea to warm it up with something like a hairdryer, then use your hands to make it smaller and put it into the hole that goes into the engine room. Please try various tricks such as applying oil to the top or hitting it with a rubber hammer. Next time I would like to add a bull bumper, or rather a steel bumper. Thank you for tuning in.